¿Qué tal, amigos de Latin America Meetings TV? Estamos de nuevo, seguimos en esta semana en cuarentena, pero pues seguimos trabajando y seguimos conectando con todas las personas, con líderes, con amigos, con colegas, con proveedores, con toda la industria de reuniones y seguimos pasando fronteras. Ahora nos vamos hasta el otro lado del charco, nos vamos a Europa, nos vamos a Polonia y por supuesto con un gran amigo, con un gran hermano, con quien estamos construyendo muchos proyectos interesantes para todos los eventos y sabrán más noticias de esto también para México y para América Latina. Pero por el momento, pues queremos que nuestro amigo Brian nos platique de qué se trata, qué está pasando allá y sobre todo también hablaremos un poquito de Rock Your Business y cómo todo este proyecto, cuando nos den luz verde y podamos regresar a la actividad de los eventos, pues también Rock Your Business será una parte importante. Brian, my friend, hello. We are ready. We are really happy to have you here from Mexico to Poland, and how we can start this day with energy.
Okay, so here's a little song I wrote about this crazy virus. Everybody was drinking, joking, laughing, smoking, spending time with people we love. And now we're hoping, praying, there's no more delay until we're spending time with people we love. Till we're spending time with people we love.
And that's how we can start, and we can really be energized by somebody with your spirit, with your soul. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, hermano. And it's great to have you here. So, how are things down there? I know you're in Poland. I know we understand that we are in the same channel, in the same pandemic moment, but we are talking about how we can be ready when the green lights come and Rock Your Business and all the things you have working, connecting many companies, international companies, and also that we know we will have, when these things come out again, we will have Rock Your Business Mexico, Latin America, but still, how's everything down there?
Everything closed down a couple of months ago. Like from a personal standpoint, we lost like 5 events in one day. So that we changed our focus. You know, you always have to think positive and think forward and think, what can we do in this moment right now that obviously for health reasons, everything has to be stopped. There obviously has to be a lockdown. This is obvious for the health of every country. But what can we do in the meantime? So I changed my focus and I used the same motivational energy, I think that we can call it. So I immediately created a little group on Facebook called Rock Your Lockdown, where I started inviting my friends and their family to come on. And every day at 5 o'clock, I host this sing along, which people say really helped them through the lockdown, where they get to sing along old classic songs from the 50s and 60s, from Elvis to Bon Jovi to disco, just to put a smile on people's faces. And then within my own industry, I started reaching out to all the people that we had worked with, all the people that we're going to work with in the future. And it wasn't business at all. It was just, please stay safe. And, you know, we are here. You're not alone. And, you know, if you need to talk, you know, anytime, here's my mobile number. You know, this is not business. This is life. This is reality. And I was amazed with the response that I got back from a lot of people saying, thank you so much. That was so nice of you just to reach out. And I said, yeah, you know, we could talk about business later when everything restarts. But right now, I just want to make sure that you know that we're a family in this event industry. We work together, we've partied together. We're going to do that in the future. And I just want you to know that we are here for you. And when the time comes, we will also help your companies restart their businesses in the most rocking fashion that we could possibly do. Because the one thing with all this isolation is that there's never been a moment in history when people really need to get closer together and they need to rejoice that they're alive, that they're through this. And there's only one thing that I can think of on the whole planet that can deliver that, and that is singing music.
That's great. That's great. And what we understand that this is a kind of a global campaign for the meetings industry. is that maybe people are willing not to cancel events, but to change their dates, to rearrange, to reconsider, not canceling, but making arrangements for other dates. That's also happening down there, right?
Yes, there was a campaign here in Polish, don't cancel, just postpone. But my 5 events were just postponed. They said we are going to do them. Just right now with the new laws and regulations, it's not possible for us to do it, which of course we understand. And hopefully we can kick these back off in August, September, when the country comes back to life. 90% of my business was primarily in Poland because I'm based here. However, in the first part of the year, as you know, I was in Russia, I was in Austria energizing conferences, and I was just invited to rock the IMEX Las Vegas 10th anniversary party, which I was really excited about. Yeah, so we were expanding and investing a lot of time, a lot of money into the expansion before these events got postponed. But I think that it's pretty much the same across the board here. I think that everybody's just postponing. Let's see. You know, I think we might lose 20%, maybe. I don't know. But as I said, I think when everything restarts, I think the months missed have to be made up. The company still has objectives, they have directives, they have a need to make sure that their staff have a good sense of well-being. They're coming out of a pretty scary time in history, so there's definitely going to be a need for a lot of team building, refreshing relationships. Like I said at the beginning, like I was just reaching out to people I know, but that's obviously done much better if it's in person. So once the meeting industry kicks up again and people can actually travel and go to places and go to conferences and meet up with old friends and touch base, that sense of relief, that sense of joy that you can just have a coffee with somebody and say, hey, Raphael, how are you, sir? How's the kids? Everything good? Yeah, great. What projects have you got on? I might have something for you. That's why the meetings industry exists, is to have that ability to jump on a plane and go meet somebody. I can only say for my own personal enjoyment, I was on strict quarantine for 2 weeks because I came off a flight from Norway, and there was somebody on the plane had tested positive for coronavirus, so we had to like not leave the house for 2 weeks. Police were coming, checking, and after that 2 weeks, there isn't a so-called lockdown here. Like you have to stay home. You're allowed to go, but it's not like so bad. So I went last week to pick up some delivery. My friend has a shisha business delivery in the center of Warsaw. He's been my good friend for 14 years. And even though we kept the social distancing and I had a mask, just to see his face was amazing. Just to go, hey, how are you? And he's like, good. My 5 business seasons are going down the toilet, but it's okay. And I'm like, wow. He has 5 gastro nightclubs and bars, and they're all in trouble. But he's smiling. He says, what are we going to do? And I'm like, I'm just happy I can see your face. He went, me too. So, I mean, FaceTime is brilliant for a lot of things, but we're in a meetings industry. It's called a meetings industry for a reason. I mean, I can even do my workshops like this, but it pales in comparison to what it's like when I'm in a room with people and they can see me and I can feel them. I can read the emotions on their face. I can spot the ones that are a little bit more shy and I bring them into the group. So, but yeah, the whole of Poland is, and all the hotels are shut, all the restaurants are shut, all the cafes are shut, most of the event companies are either out of business or they're struggling because probably going to be about 4 or 5 months of no work. So there was a big panic here. All the event companies within 2 to 3 days got together. Polish people are very amazing that in general they're quite jealous of each other until they have a common enemy, and then they team together like nothing I've ever seen in my life. Poles are amazing in the face of adversity through all the world wars and the Holocaust and the crazy history they had with Russia. When they want to come together and fight, so the whole event industry come up with this movement called TU Gather, because there's a company here, a tourism company that starts with a TU. So I think they were the founder of the movement. So it was together, and all these event companies that are normally fighting with each other every single day of the week, bidding for events, bidding for conferences, but we're actually coming together saying, Mr. Kaczynski, the Premier of Poland, you need to step up and save us, because do you know how much money that we bring to the economy every year? Tourism, conferences, hotels, airs, everything, like the tourism industry. But from all the reports that I read, we're the last. We're going to be we're on when you have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 of the lockdown, then you have stage 1, 2, 3 coming out. Like they just reopened the parks. Stage 3 is to reopen the restaurants and open up the kindergartens and schools. So the event industry is, I don't know. I think it's going to come back really, really hardcore. I think we have to. It's what we do, you know. Albert Einstein said people with talent should do things that they have talent with. Well, if you've been doing events for 10, 15 years of your life and that's what you do brilliantly, you can't just go get another job. It's just, you know, you build a network around the world. You have brothers and sisters everywhere, and there's a reason you have that. You know, you just can't go work at McDonald's and say, oh, yeah, it's going to take a while. Maybe temporarily you need to find something just to put bread on the table. But I think in the long run, I think the event industry is going to be extremely resilient. I think we're all going to get together and resuscitate the lifeless body of the event industry.
Well, that's great. And so thank you very much for this time, for sharing with us. I know you have been also making many things on the afternoons down there. We are on a different hour, but it was really, really amazing to talking to you and listen this song you are making for these times. It's really amazing. And I'm sure and I'm positive we will gather together and it will be really emotional. But at this time, stay safe. And we're going to contact you later to see how things are continued down there and how our event industry in that side of the world, in Poland, in Europe, well, starts working. But at this moment, thank you very much, my friend, hermano. Gracias. Thank you very much for your time.
Muchas gracias.
And we will see you soon in that side of the world, and we will see you soon in this side of the world. Thank you very much.
Viva Mexico.